That is the World Electronic Sports Games, the WESG, as it's also referred to. This taking place in China, Chengdu, China, I think that's how you pronounce it, maybe. Anyways, of course, this is that $1.5 million event. Again, I've already previewed this quite a bit. Oh, yeah, I did get a haircut. Thanks, by the way, Starman J. I did get a haircut. Let's go back to the webcam here real quickly. Boom. Look at that. Looking pretty. Looking pretty. I know. I did get a haircut today, so it's always that fresh feel, you know. I just feel good. I still need a shave, actually. I haven't shaved here, but I think it looked good. So thanks for noticing. Anyways, back to the daily recap here. Let's go back into it. Switch back to the screen here. So back to what we were talking about. All right, the WESG coming at us. Yesterday, the group stages actually wrapped up yesterday. Again, this event really interesting. Like I said, I did the preview a couple of days ago. I mean, you can check out that daily recap if you want to get my thoughts on that. Chengzhou. Okay, Chengzhou. I'm being told it's apparently pronounced. Anyways, let's pay attention here. All right, so we got the group stages wrapping up. Now, kind of glancing at them firsthand right here, a couple of interesting ones. I kind of did some predictions, you could say, and some previewing of the groups those couple of days ago before the groups had started. To say the least, it was kind of a mix as far as my predictions being right or not, and kind of, you know, I haven't actually got the time to really look over this until right now, so these are going to be kind of in-the-moment reactions. Group A right here, to be or not to be, you know, this is a team from China, one of these teams that just we really don't know enough about, but being from China especially, it's safe to assume perhaps going to be one of the teams moving on. They actually ended up finishing up top with a 3-2-0 record, so technically they did not go, they went undefeated in their series in the sense that they did not lose any of their series. Obviously, they split a couple, and then they won the 3 others. Team Dialcom, a team from, are they the ones from Peru, if I'm not mistaken? Yes, they're the ones from Peru, actually, in South America there. And then MVP Revolution, the third team, out of Kyrgyzstan. I still can't pronounce that appropriately. Anyways, this is a team, again, I don't know if many people were expecting them to do too well, but look at that, finishing third place, advancing on. The most noticeable upside here is, of course, no doubt Horde. You know, Group A was the one group for me where I was like, oh, no doubt Horde absolutely is going to be moving on. I don't really know about the others. Horde finished 1-4-0. Now, again, technically they didn't lose a series as they split 4 of them and then only won 1 in the end. But that still was not enough to move on. You know, the fact that they split 4 series, you know, you only get 1 point for each of those splits right there. They finished barely in that 4th place spot, so it really is surprising to see Horde not moving on. No doubt that has to really phase them a little bit. Of course, they're kind of the brother team to Alliance over there. You know, with Ake and crew, Ake, Excalibur, and whatnot. What do you want, Lily? I've already played with you today. All right, my dog's being a pain. But yeah, I gotta say, no doubt, I'm sure they're disappointed, and frankly, it's disappointing to see. I mean, again, this is a team, especially in an event like this. We're not talking about, you know, we're not talking about a major here. We're not talking about a prestigious event necessarily in the sense of the competition that is here. We're talking about, it's a lot of these quote-unquote pug teams, you know, teams kind of formed together for this event because of the format with the whole representing the country and everything. And then a lot of these tier 2, tier 3 teams even coming from specific countries that maybe don't get the chance to necessarily compete at the top tier level, but with this format, it kind of opened up the doors for them. So, now, you know, not to take away from these other 3 teams, especially that made it out of Group A, but really, Horde, they should have been a team that advanced on. So, again, no doubt they got to be a little hurt from this. And not to say that that's the end of the road for them by any means, but, you know, you hope for better results coming in the future here from such a potentially strong team. At a Group B, we had Cloud9 top of the charts. Of course, they're the team that won the initial European qualifiers to get to this event, formerly known as Imperial, as well as Danish Bears, recently picked up by Cloud9, so not surprised to see them on top there. Who did they split the series against? It looks like they split against SJ. Okay, yeah, that's right. We did get that yesterday. Lily, calm down. Hey, go to your bed. Park it. Go get food something. There we go. This dog, man, sometimes. Anyways, SG Esports, though, finishing in that 2nd place spot again. They're a team from South America, actually, from Brazil, I believe. That is, again, potentially a team that could do pretty well in this event. I wouldn't be surprised if not only they made it out of this group, but get decent progress in the playoff stage. So, they also advance on, and then Team Romania finishing it up. They were a mix of players, if I'm not mistaken. Let's try to find them, or where is Team? There we go. Team Media, a couple teams from KP. You got a player from XPC Gaming, it looks like. So, but definitely some names that you would recognize. They ended up finishing third in this group. Most noticeably, the one that may be a little bit surprising, Fantastic Five not getting out. Again, they did have a couple of quote-unquote pug players as well. In fact, from 3 different teams even. So, despite being all solid players and experienced players, they weren't able to make it out in the end. But this was overall a fairly tough group. It's not too surprising to see that they didn't move on in the end. You know, obviously one team wasn't able to move on here. So, anyways, Group B, that's how that shaped up. Not surprising in the end. Group C, another not surprising in the end either. At least Alliance and Dubao Young I did predict to move on. Alliance actually did claim the #1 seed, actually. Did they? They must have went 2-0 over Dubao? No, they split the series. I wonder how the tiebreaker was determined. Alliance gains the first seed due to time rating. Interesting. Huh. So I guess their tiebreakers came down to the length of matches. That's a very curious tiebreaker, actually, when it comes down to it. So the shorter your matches happen to be, so if your opponents happen to concede earlier on, you know, that can obviously help your cause when it comes to tiebreakers. So, well, congratulations to Alliance, though. Again, not surprised to see them. They did split against Dubao Young, as mentioned. In fact, I watched a little bit of that series. Dubao Young, definitely a team. Again, they're also a team out of the Chinese region. One of the 3 teams, I believe, that's actually coming from China here in this event. You got Dubao Young, you've got To Be or Not To Be. I think there's one other. Yeah, Max Y. Max Y was another team. And they also advanced on, as we see here, out of Group D. But anyways, Group C, Dark Passage, the 3rd team. Who's Dark Passage? I can't say I was expecting them to move on. Okay, they're the team from Turkey, it looks like. So congratulations to them. That's got to feel pretty good coming from a region that doesn't necessarily get a lot of exposure. And Nobody's 79. Welcome to the CB Kappas, by the way. You're awesome. You're freaking awesome. Don't let anyone stay there for the goddamn it. Thank you so much. Nobody's 79 home. Really do appreciate that. Thanks for the Twitch Prime subscription. As I got to give a shout out there while we're doing the daily recap. So, all right, but yeah, Alliance, no doubt one of the tournament favorites. So good to see them in that first place seed coming out. Getting the advantage of first place, you get the bye in the playoffs here. As you see in that first round. Then we had Group D, TNC Pro Team advancing on with that 3-1-1 record. They gained the tie advantage due to the head-to-head, it looks like. So they actually won the head-to-head over Infamous 2-0. A little surprising there. I mean, Infamous is definitely a team I honestly expected to take Group D coming from South America. Now, of course, they are still moving on, and so it's still good in the end. But Infamous is definitely a really strong team, and they're kind of one of these dark horse teams, I think, for a lot of people that maybe don't realize how strong they could be. I wouldn't be surprised if they make some progress here in this event, and we'll see how deep they get. The disappointing here is Team Ukraine, I feel like. Team Ukraine, a makeup of quite solid players, to say the least. Of course, you have Resolution as their carry, you got Dendi and General, and then Always Want to Fly with Art Style. I mean, that's a legitimate team right here of these 5 players from Ukraine. Not able to make it out of the groups. But again, this is the case of this format of this event. How much were they practicing together? Obviously, Resolution was just competing with his own team in DC at the ESL 1 Genting the weekend prior. So, you know, something tells me they may not have got a lot of practice time together. And no doubt they maybe had some impact. But it is what it is. And that's why, you know, these teams that are together and happen to be from all the same country, it's going to be an advantage for them in such an event. They already have that practice time that they're working with. So these are the 3 teams again. Max Y, the 3rd team from China to be moving on. So all the Chinese teams actually do move on, even though we're not talking about the elite Chinese teams either. So again, I was also told apparently the Chinese teams, they had to be from the same province in China. So that's why we didn't necessarily see a lot of these A-tier, you know, top-tier Chinese teams in this event. That's what I was told, at least. I don't know how true ultimately that is or whatever, but that's at least from what my understanding how it played out. So those are the 3 teams from each group moving on. You see the playoffs are ultimately forming up right here. As far as the quick predictions, I mean, you got Dubao Young versus Max. So I definitely have to favor Dubao Young there. Again, the Chinese team's going at it, but Dubao Young looking like the stronger. Infamous over Dark Passage for sure. Romania over Team Dalcom, I would have to probably guess, but that's going to be a toss-up because Team Dalcom, again, a pretty strong finish there in Group A in the 2nd place, and potentially could be a team to look out for. And then I definitely have SG Sports over MVP Resolution. Again, SG Sports, a team that I've had the chance to watch and cast a little bit lately myself, and coming out of Brazil right here. going to be fun to see how they advance on. And then obviously they play the bye teams as they advance on, and then we'll see how it continues to move on from there. So this continues on later tonight, I believe. I don't know how far they're going to go in the playoffs. It looks like they're going to at least get... Okay, they're planning to go all the way? No, they're planning to go to the semifinals. Then the third place match of the grand finals are set to happen tomorrow then. So on Saturday, going into Sunday, it looks like. All right, so that makes sense there. A lot of Dota still to come from this event. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is just one tournament that's currently going on. Let's go real quickly, go to another one. I know this is drawing out here as far as this daily recap goes, but bear with me. We got the Chinese qualifiers for the Dota 2 Asian Championships kicking off. And there's definitely progress being made. Newbie Boss, of course, initially qualifying out of the pre-qualifier, and then they got to play yesterday in the actual qualifiers of the group stage format here. I believe it's the top, the top 3 advance on to top 2, excuse me, advance on. Oh, so they already did advance on to the next set of group stages. Interesting. All right, so wait. No, they haven't yet. It is the top 2 out of each group. Okay, what am I missing here? For some reason, this looks a little odd, but okay, I guess it is the top 2 out of each group advance onto the playoffs, and then. Yeah, so it's just the top 2 out of each team. Okay, anyways, I'm just a little confused at the format. But it looks like the top 2 advance on, and then they go from there in that double elimination format. So you see Invictus Gaming leading the way. It doesn't look like Newbie Boss is ultimately going to be qualifying here. They dropped both of their series initially, and then they tied against LFY, a 1-1 split. But even if they win their final 2 series, it's going to be a tough chance for them to advance on in one of those top 2 positions. So, you know, a team that a lot of people are rooting for, especially for several different reasons. For me personally, it's because of Axe actually being on that team, the female player, and hoping that a female player of her caliber is able to make it to the land. But it looks like that they are going to be coming up just short. You see, again, IG on top. LFY and CDEC competing for that 2nd place spot as well, and the others all in a pretty tough spot when it comes down to it. eHome 0-3. God, they really have dropped, it feels like, as of late. Disappointing at the Boston Major, even before that at the Northern Arena, I believe, and now here we are at these qualifiers. eHome definitely has gone downhill quite a bit. So over in Group B, we have a couple of interesting results. Another IG team, this one IG Vitality. Obviously, they're on top of that 2-0 record. Team VGJ, definitely the team to watch, at least in my mind. They currently are 1-1-0, sitting at a 2nd place spot. So still a lot of matches to be played through all these teams. So nothing is really certain just yet. But you see, you know, a couple of these teams having the better start. But Team VGJ, again, the team, at least me personally, I know a lot of people are really excited to see how they continue to do. Again, managed to split against VG Gaming in their series against them. But then it looks like that they went 2-0 against We Are Young in that matchup. So that continues on into tonight as well, and we'll continue to see how this plays out. Again, they're trying to qualify for what is ultimately at least going to be a $3 million tournament, you figure, because the previous one, it was over $3 million, if I'm not mistaken. Wait. Yeah, over $3 million prize pool, I was about to say, because of the compendium purchases and everything. So it'll be interesting to see how that actually works here. Moving forward with the Dota 2 Asian Championships. But definitely going to be a prestigious event to qualify for. And the other regions, of course, still in the works as far as the information and stuff for them. So outside of that, I don't think there's really too much else to note as far as things that have been going on. Yeah, not a whole lot else. There's some minor events, but you know what? We've talked about that plenty already. So no point to, once again, go over those today. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the daily recap. Hopefully you enjoyed what is January 13th, 2017. Once again, I was BreakyCPK. You can check me out on all my social media, at Twitch and Twitter, as well as Facebook and YouTube, all over the place, all at BreakyCPK. Until next time, I'll see you then. Enjoy. All right. Lily, you're going to have to calm down. I might have to put my dog upstairs.